Hello guys. So the time is right now 1:38 in the morning, and it just came to my attention within the last hour that there are some videos online now about the Dali Opticon 6 Mark II. Now if you're new to this channel, then you won't know that I'm quite a big Dali fanboy, to be honest with you. I try to stay objective at all times, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for Dali because I really do think that they make speakers, as their slogan says, in admiration of music. And one thing I'm really big about, because I'm a violinist, is music. You know, at the end of the day, we can remain objective as we can, as audiophiles, but you've got to remember a musician had to play that music and get it into the mic, and that's where it all started. So yeah, I was very excited to see that the Opticon 6 Mark II has some videos out. I'm excited that this new speaker is coming out because the old ones, they're not flawless. I've got the Opticon 6s right now, they're downstairs, and while I really like that speaker, I did a review about it. It must be 2-3 months ago now, and I didn't, I didn't really say much bad about it, but there were a few negatives. Yeah, I thought, well, I could go to bed or I could make this video because a lot of you guys, a lot of my subscribers, you have asked me about my opinions. And I'll probably come out with another video about this topic at some point, but here we go. So Opticon 6 Mark II, what is it that they have changed? First of all, guys, the design is radically changed. Now there's some different finishes. We've got satin white, satin black, and a tobacco oak. And also the design, like language, looks a teeny bit different. Reminds me a little bit more of the old icons by Dali, to be honest. Another thing that it says here is that the bass reflex ports have been changed. They've been revised somehow. It says here that they now have dual flare reflex tubes, which are shaped both outwardly and inwardly as funnels, as should thus reduce flow noise to an absolute minimum. Okay. Now the Mark II Opticons, they feature an even larger 29mm tweeter. And this apparently is developed from the Callisto C series of Dali speakers. Now apparently this is meant to lower distortion even further, and it's also meant to harmonize a little bit better with the mid-range and mid-bass drivers in the Opticon Mark II models, apparently, thanks to the lower cutoff frequency of 2 kHz. Fine. Well, we have to test it, don't we? We have to test it to understand, because at the end of the day, very important to test this, because there's one thing that's being objective, and the other thing is proof in the pudding. We have to test the speakers. I would always recommend people not really to listen to reviewers online. I always say that. I'm not sponsored. I don't believe in sponsored reviews. I think people should do a home demo. Always have the option of a home demo. It's not fair if you're not offered one. I think you should have as many home demos as you like. Being objective is one thing, but also it comes down to your opinion of the speaker and also how it shines in your room. It's really, really important. So yeah, I mean, apparently it's updated. Also, another thing that's been updated is the price. Now, when I bought my Opticon 6s, I think they were £1,200. Now they've gone up to £1,500, 1,499. So that's an increase of 25%. That's a quarter added on. So another thing to consider is the price went up. We should expect the sound quality to improve. Now the question is, does the Opticon 2, does it improve on the previous Opticon? There is room for improvement on the old Opticons, but at the same time it was a very fun listen. So as there's a famous audio engineer, Siegfried Linkwitz, and I think there was a quote from him saying that when you measure a speaker, it measures flat. To the eyes, that looks good, but the ears, actually, no, it was the other way around. So if you see, he said, if you look at a graph and then it's like that, to the eyes it does not look good, but the ears or the brain says, yes, I like it. So it really matters when you put the speaker in your room, what's your opinion. I'm never going to tell you what you should like. Never tell you one speaker's better than another, because I don't believe that to be true, really. Obviously, unless you pay a lot more money. Anyway, I'm going to carry on now. Now, this is what is interesting, because there is a guy on YouTube, right? And he has gone through the effort I think it's a Russian guy, I think that's the language. He's gone through the effort of doing a side-by-side comparison of the Opticon 6 Mark II versus the Opticon 6. Now we can be objective here because he has put the speakers in the exact same positions. He's obviously using some very high quality recording equipment. You can tell from the recordings that, you know, it sounds good. I think you could objectively look at these two speakers using this. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a comparison of this 6 Mark II versus the 6. And I'm going to tell you, do I think that this new speaker is that different? Is it worth a buy? Or is it better to go for the Opticon 6, which is now £500 less, and you can buy it used for even less than that? So let's do it now. For reference, guys, I have to be objective. So the equipment that I'm using, so I'm really able to hear what's going on as best I can, considering the limitations. I'm using some reference pair AKG K712 Pro headphones, right, which are studio monitor headphones. And the other thing I'm using is my O2 Objective headphone amplifier. I made this years ago now, based on a very prestigious design in the DIY community. There's a guy called N-Wave Guy, if anyone knows of this guy. It's kind of like a mythical figure. No one knows who he is, but he designed this headphone amp years ago, and now people make this amp. They can, you know, soldering iron and all that, or you can actually buy them pre-made. And these headphone amps, they measure like that, like flat. So yeah, that's the equipment I'm using, and I'm going to see what the key differences are throughout the video. I'm going to tell you the exact parts to go to on this video. Get a good pair of headphones. Get yourself, you know, a decent headphone amp if you've got one, or you know what, you could even use something like this. You know, this is a half decent, I would say, set of Bluetooth headphones. These are the B&W PX7s. You know, something like fairly decent, I would say. Headphones are much more accurate than speakers. You don't have any room to take into account. So this test is, I think, personally, I think this test is valid. More valid than listening to a reviewer's words, for sure, anyway, in my opinion. So anyway, let's do it now. Right, so just for reference, guys, the music starts at 5 minutes and 35 seconds on the video. I'm going to put a link for you down below so you can see it. So it starts at 5 minutes 35, and we're hearing the Opticon 6 originals right now. And even the way this guy has done the test is excellent. This is how you do an audio test. You don't trust your acoustic long-term memory. You don't do that. You do side by side. Watch the video, you'll see it switches bang, 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 one to the next, one to the next. You don't trust your acoustic memory. You know, it's that first of all, there's a bias there. And secondly, psychology. If you study psychology, you'll know that to get something into your long-term memory, it takes many, many repetitions. So yeah, this is a very good test, what I'm about to do now. And I would advise that you do it as well if you really want to buy these speakers. So I'm going to shout out the times that I think are really, really significant, guys, so you can follow me here. If we go to 6 minutes and 9 seconds, there's a piece here called Moonlight Haze, right? And I would show you on the screen, but, you know, I'm not interested in copyright stuff. You know, I just want to make videos. First of all, we have the... Now, guys, can you hear at 6 minutes 27 seconds? No, 6 minutes 20... 6 minutes 25, 26. That's that tenor saxophone. Can you hear that? That's on the Dali Opticon 6s. Now listen to the comparison with the Mark IIs. So about 6 minutes 38, you're going to hear that comparison. Now don't you think, what a difference? And I can tell through these headphones, I can tell the sonic characteristics of the original Opticon 6. I'm not joking here, but I recognize the sound signature anywhere of those speakers. Because acoustic memory, I've listened to those speakers for years now. 6 minutes 45, we're on to some funky sort of tune now. Smoke Silent it's called, and we're on the Mark IIs. Yeah, yeah. Listen to that difference. That it switches from the Mark 2s to the 6 at around 6 minutes 56. Listen to the difference. Yeah, straight away, guys, you can tell the difference. The original Marks, the original 6s, the Mark 1s, they are, that is the sound of those speakers. It's just a lovely listen. It's just fun. It's got a funness to it. It's a really funky sort of sound. Whereas the Mark 2s, they've tidied up. They've tidied up house with the Mark 2s for sure. Listen to the bass. The trebles, the upper mids have come down as well. It almost sounds more kind of single point, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It's coming from one kind of point. If you hear the bits with the trumpets around 7 minutes 13, it sounds really. Now listen, oh my god, listen at 7 minutes 18. It switches straight to the Dali Opticon 6 original, and listen to the difference. Now, what's your preference? That's a hard one because I love the original Opticon 6. I love them, absolutely love them. You know, oh, they sound like almost. It's like, it's just a really nice sound. It's just a really nice sound, that is, and they've tidied it up, but it's lost its character, I think, from hearing this. We're now onto some dance music at around 7:28. We've just switched to the Mark 2s. At 7:46, the bass lines come in. Listen to that electric organ. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't think I like the Mark 2s, guys. Honestly, from hearing from here. Obviously, I'm not there, but we're talking sound signature here. We can judge sound signature through headphones. I don't believe people say you can't. If you've got the good enough equipment, yes, you can. I don't know. There's something about the Mark 1s. I know it's not. I know it's not this ideal speaker that people are shooting for with measurements. But that is a nice sound. You can dance to that. You can tap your foot to that. And when an instrument comes in, notice it sounds more forward. So when a specific instrument has, like the solo, for example, out the solo comes. In this case, I think it was the electric organ. Yeah, the electric organ sounds like it's not there at 8 minutes. So at 8 minutes, go to 8 minutes, the electric organ fades away. It's like the soloist didn't come out. But at 7 minutes 50, go back to Opticon 6 original, and the electric organ is there. The bass is a little bit too much with the original 6. You can hear the kick. But if you don't care about that, it depends on what you want, right? If you want it to be closer, more tidy sounding speaker, then you're going to want the Mark 2s. But I'm telling you, the Opticon 6, right? It's just like that Linkwit said. You see, with the eyes, it doesn't make sense. With the ears, you're enjoying it, all right? So it makes you not care. Yeah, it's tidied up now. It's tidied up, which is fine. But it's lost a bit of that Dali magic, I think. At 8 minutes 5 seconds, we're now going on to some, what is it? It's called triangles. It's called. Here's that bass guitar, guys. We'll start off with the bass guitar. See, this is where the Opticon, the new one, is better. You notice the there's a drum. I'll tell you when it comes in. Yeah, as soon as you hear the switch, right, at 8 minutes 9. The drum's too much. The Opticon 6 is not doing it. It's too much. It's way too bloated. But the bass guitar, again, it's not as crispy as the Mark II, but it's just got that funky sound, man. Funky sound. See, as soon as the Opticon 6 comes in, your shoulders, you're moving like that. The bass is a bit too much though. And these Opticons, look, they're quite far away from the wall. At 8 minutes 33, we've got some synthesized sounds coming in, right? This is going to be interesting. Listen to the blend of sounds. Yeah, that Mark II, it's tidied up. It's tidied up. You know, it's tidied up. With the 6, it sounds like there's all this harmonic action going on. I don't know if you can hear it. It's kind of like a wall of sound. It's different, you know. It really depends. This game, it really depends what you like. That's why I'm never going to tell people buy this speaker, you know, buy that speaker. You know, buy them both. You know, buy 2, 3 of them, demo them, and send the ones that you don't want back. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to other people. Most people on YouTube, I'm not going to lie, what I think, I'm not going to accuse anyone, but I think with sponsored reviews, it's like is it a review, or are they selling you the speaker? Anyway, we're at 8 minutes 46. I think we've got some rock music coming now. Yeah, so again with the rock music, right? We've got the guitar, the distortion effect. Not harmonic distortion like speaker, like pedal distortion, like meant to be there for the guitar. Now on the originals, it's just got the energy. Listen to the energy. Comes in at 8:50, 8:56. And then it switches to the Mark IIs, and then hear the difference. It's like that. It's like that energy's gone away. But listen to the drum kit. On the Mark IIs, it's tidy. It's tidy. Switch back to the Opticon 6, and it's like the guitarist. You can feel the guitarist energy in the room. And then we switch back to the Mark IIs, and then it's a more neutral sound. Some would argue it's lost its flavour. Again, here's an excellent one. An excellent bit of... Go to 9 minutes 33 and watch the difference. There's a strumming going on. Listen to that. Dun, 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 dun. Listen to the guitar solo, guys, at 10:05. Can you see how when it switches to the Mark II at 10 minutes and 12 seconds, it's like the guitar fades away. Just a bit, it steps back. Before he's playing in your face, and now he's like playing in. You see, this is the difference. Now at 10 minutes 35, guys, and I can't read that, whatever that says it is. That's Russian, I think. One thing I noticed, listen to the woman's voice. Actually, I think with the woman, it's actually stepped back. It's more recessed, I think. Yeah, hear that straight away. Look from 11 minutes 6 to 11 minutes 9. Listen to the woman's voice. On the Mark 2, the woman's voice comes out. On the original, it's back. Okay? And it's a bit overpowered by the bass line. It's like she's struggling to get her voice out. Yeah, that's all I really need to hear, to be honest with you guys. Obviously, home demo, you need to do it. Personally, I don't like reading reviewers or watching reviewers. I'd rather look in the forums, or I'd rather do things like that personally, or do the home demo. So, what do I think about the speakers? Well, first of all, notice when he's doing the demo, one thing I noticed was that I think, well, Dali recommend that you don't tow them in, that you keep them 90 degrees, and I think he's not doing that in the demo. So that's one thing. Like, the microphone is pointing directly into the tweeter module, and Dali say that you're meant to be like that. It's not meant to be towed in, or yeah, towed in. So that's one thing that could make a difference. There's obviously a few things there, but it sounds like to me the Mark II has cleaned up its act. It's trying to become a more neutral speaker. It's trying to become, you know, it's trying. I think what it's trying to do, it's trying to appeal to the audiophile maybe a little bit more. It's trying to score higher marks in the magazines or whatever it is. That's what I think it's trying to do. It doesn't sound as Dali, you know, as the previous Opticon 6, which is fine. But yeah, that's what I think about it. If you guys wanted to know my opinion, buy whichever one you want. It doesn't matter to me. Just with the Opticon 6, you're going to save 500 odd pounds or more. So yeah, I knew I had to do this today, because I know a lot of you guys, you saw my Dali video, you're thinking, should I buy the old one or the new one? Hopefully this video made your mind up. Hopefully you can compare the differences and notice those specific things within the music. The music is a personal thing. It's down to you. So don't let anybody tell you what you should buy. Anyway, I know I've repeated myself so many times on this video. I'm sorry, guys. I will probably try to do another one. But anyway, hope this helped you. If it didn't help you, leave a dislike if you want. I don't care. Put a comment, say you don't like me, whatever. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you next time.